Hi everyone, I hope that this online tutorial finds you well and it will be of some use for you as we move into this period of online learning. What I hope to cover in this video is how to use a program called QuickTime Player to create online tutorials for learners to help support the learning and teaching of our learners across an online platform. So to give you a bit of background, the video tutorials that we have done in PE sort of complement the work that we are putting on to Google Classroom, and it also can take the learners through PowerPoints and work that we would be doing in class without actually being there face to face. So on screen just now, what I've done is I've set up a PowerPoint that we would use within the classroom just as an example. So the view that you're seeing now and hearing the voice is what our learners would see and hear from the finished article. So as you can see, I can click on to the PowerPoint that I have. So this is just one from my pen drive, and all of the animations etc. Work completely the same. And as I work through the PowerPoint, the learners can still hear me and they can see what's going on screen as well. And this is really useful because when I finish making this video, obviously the learners can pause, rewind and sort of take stock of what's happened, which is really good. Unlike a lesson where you sort of keep going and you keep moving forward, the learners can actually stop. So how do we get to this stage? So what I use, I'm using a MacBook to do this just now, and the program that I use is called QuickTime Player. Now, I don't for a minute think this is the only type of software that can be used to do this type of thing. However, it is the program that I've found to be the easiest to create this type of screen recording. So I'm using a MacBook Air laptop, and QuickTime Player is already installed as standard on a MacBook Air. I don't know if that's the same across all sort of MacBook laptops and desktops. It might be that you have to download it. However, if it doesn't appear in your taskbar like this icon here that I'm showing, simply if you go to your launchpad and you type in, just start to type in QuickTime, you'll see that QuickTime Player appears. And once that appears, it will appear here as an icon in the taskbar. I don't know if that is a taskbar. That's what I call it. And maybe the IT staff will be sitting watching this thinking, what the hell is he calling that a taskbar for? But for the purposes of this video, it's a taskbar. So, once this icon appears in the taskbar, you can right click and you are presented with these options. So new movie, new audio and new screen recording. Now it won't let me select the screen recording just now because, as you can see, I am already recording the screen for this video. However, screen recording allows you to do what I am doing just now, and that is to record what's on the screen and also to record my voice. I'm going to just plug my laptop in. And the new audio recording would allow you to record your voice without recording what's on screen. Now, some might feel more comfortable doing that, and you will be given a sound recording at the end that you can save and upload for the kids to listen to. However, I just personally feel that the screen recording helps our learners better because as you're talking through certain tasks, etc., they can see and hear what it is you're talking about. So, once you've started your new screen recording, okay, you'll see this little icon here at the top, and that tells me that we are currently recording. And I can't show you what it looks like when I finish recording because then you wouldn't see what I'm doing. However, once I have finished recording, you will see that your screen recording appears in the desktop like so. And that's really important because it makes it very easy to find for the next part of production, if you like. Now, one of the benefits I find of the QuickTime player is that you're able to trim your videos at the end. So if, for example, at the start you're going through folders, you're bringing up, just like what I'm doing on screen, you're bringing up stuff, your desktop's on show, don't worry, because you can edit that out and you can start your video from the point that you want the learners to see. So if you want to get to here and then start your PowerPoint, you can trim your video to this point at the start, and likewise at the end when you come off your PowerPoint and finish, you can trim it in so that none of the stuff at the end or the start is shared with the learners. Now what I do with my videos is I create them into YouTubes. Now the purpose of that is really simple. By creating a YouTube, I generate a link, and when I generate a link, I am able to then add the link to a task on Google Classroom. Now, if I just show you here how simple this is, if I go to create and upload a video, I then upload the task that I want, not the task, sorry, I upload the video that I want our learners to be able to see. It creates the task. I'll make this private just now because I don't want it to be shared. And it then generates a video link that you can see here. Now, that took me 20 seconds to do that. And when I go into my Google Class and I create an assignment and I want our learners to get this online support video, all I do is I click add, YouTube, and I paste in the link for the video that I've created and I click search. Now when I do that, you'll see here, this is the video I created for our S3 electives earlier. That appears because that link has found the video. And when I click that video, the add light here illuminates at the bottom corner, and that allows me to then embed that in as part of my assignment on Google Classroom. So when the learners go on tomorrow and they have the Google form, so what we're also doing is we're attaching a Google form to this as well. I know that's just a random one for just now, but our S3 learners will have the Google form that we're using and also the support tutorial in the form of a YouTube video above that to help them through the task. And as I say, it's really quick and easy to do it this way. Now there might be other ways of doing it that I haven't yet discovered, but for me and for us, this seems to be the best way to get the screen recording onto a video to then be shared with our learners. Now, that is obviously a really very quick showing of how I use this QuickTime player to create videos, and obviously this one is for MacBook users. I'm hoping to get another video for Windows users as well, and that will hopefully help you to creating some online tutorials for your learners. If you have any questions, please just let me know and I'll try and help you. Otherwise, happy recording.